I don't want to mess it up like I did. Are you ready? Put it on. Hello. This is Omar from the Third Rail. What's up, everybody? Long time no see. Free was in Guantanamo Bay, checking out on the prisoners, seeing that the human rights are okay. Welcome to Free. What's up, my brother? How are you? How you feeling, man?
I mean, it was a long day at Gitmo, or I guess a long week at Gitmo, but put a lot of effort in, and I'm ready to go with the show.
I'm glad. Anyway, what's new? Everything good?
Yeah.
How's your health?
My health is doing fantastic. I've been a little busy, but my schedule as of late has not affected my sort of physical health as much as I wouldn't want it to. So things have been good.
Yeah, but you still got school or no?
I'm taking the summer off. So
okay, good. All right, so what's up? What we got today? Let's start the show, everybody.
All right. Yeah, 100%. So what I wanted to get into.
Got my cowboy hat here, so my solidarity with my red states. I'm a red state guy today. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, so what I wanted to get into is Ken Paxton's whole impeachment debacle. So, and one reason I was really interested in this specifically, this case surrounding him, is because for a GOP state attorney general to be so corrupt as to get impeached by the GOP, this is significant, unprecedented, unfounded previously levels of corruption. So I just want to take a look at this. I didn't want to, go over a whole entire article that would have taken 15 minutes to do. So CNN's got some good coverage of it. So
give the background on this guy. He's the state attorney, right? The state attorney general of Texas.
Yeah,
right?
the Texas AG.
Much of a response from Texas Republicans after the impeachment of one of their own, Attorney General Ken Paxton. One of the open-ended questions: will his wife, who is a state senator, recuse herself from the trial, or will she join her colleagues in determining whether her husband needs to stay in office? As CNN's Ed Lavandera reports, the trial,
because there's no way she can be unbiased,
in the state Senate is expected to take place this summer.
Majority, right?
The group of Texas House members who...
yeah, I think
even if she stays, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's a 2/3 majority in the House, I believe, and a majority in the state Senate to convict him.
Let's hear what did they say.
The evidence in the trial of Attorney General Ken Paxton delivered the articles of impeachment to the state Senate. It's been 106 years since the last statewide office holder in Texas was impeached. Back then, it was a governor named James Ferguson, who was known as Paw. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says a committee of senators will establish the rules for the trial in the coming weeks. But beyond that, Patrick is refusing to answer questions about the fellow Republican who he's worked closely with since Paxton was elected in 2014.
There will be witnesses, and they will be put under oath, and they will be cross-examined, I'm sure, by both sides. And it will be a regular trial. And at the end of that trial, once the facts have laid out, the senators will vote.
The upcoming summer of impeachment in Texas is exposing the political fault lines within the state's Republican Party. Ken Paxton's allies are targeting House Speaker Dade Phelan, the Republican who presided over the impeachment vote.
If you step out of line with them, they will come after you.
He was drunk, this guy.
The 20 articles of
drunk.
Yeah, Texas House vote.
Called decorum, permission granted.
Yeah, right.
For the future of Texas.
A House committee started investigating Paxton in March after he requested $3.3 million in taxpayer funds to pay for a legal settlement, stemming from a lawsuit brought by whistleblowers who alleged improper behavior involving a prominent campaign donor. The articles of impeachment go further into a pattern of
inappropriate behavior involving a campaign donor.
He's been like that for 7-6 years since Trump was president. They just
100%. Now, corruption, not even just in Washington, but on the statewide level, I mean, it's pervasive. It's everywhere. And it might actually be more pervasive on state levels because, state senators and state representatives are, cheaper to buy out for campaign donors than, senators and representatives on the federal level. So I think corruption might actually be more rampant on the state level. So for them to actually impeach him, that is a very high bar. This guy need to have met to get impeached by House Republicans.
Between me and you, I really have a bit of respect for them for they doing that. I mean, It makes you feel a little better, like there's some law and order even among the fucking crazies in the red states. But this guy has been getting away since. I remember Rachel Maddow was talking about him in 2018. He's a corrupt piece of shit. He bought the lawsuit, tried to overthrow the election. They all joined him. He had to be so bad that the stench was so bad they could not hide it no more in Texas. And to get rid of it is good. That's good for the state. But to your conversation on corruption, I think America, I'm going to be saying it, the United States, we have the most corrupt system in the world. Every time I read Democrat and Republican, Lauren Boebert, her husband, who's a fucking flasher, earned $500 million a year as a consultant for an energy company. What fucking experience does he have for that? I'm telling you, man, it's all corrupt. The whole system is corrupt, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead, man.
100%. I mean, Boebert made a good chunk of her campaign and her political career just calling her political opposition groomers and PDF files. Good old Lauren, your husband flashed underage waitresses at some sort of like bowling alley, I believe it was. So don't be so sanctimonious. Don't go up on your own moral high horse, projecting your own faults onto your political opposition, because if you're literally in bed with these kinds of PDF files, these people, if we're so generous as to call them that only goes to show you're projecting your own faults and your insecurities onto left-wingers. That's entirely what conservatism is based off of.
Yeah, the reason I said that is because there are the attack on Biden. What's his name? Hunter Biden was because he was using his father's name to make money. Okay, what's the difference between a husband using her to make money? So they're all in the fucking same boat. They're all criminals. They're all fucking corrupt. Every single one of them somebody has his hand in the jar. The problem is our country is so rich, we don't realize how much thievery is happening inside the system. You know how much money they make? Do you really think they care about the $170,000 a year or 170, especially those millionaire or wealthy? Because they make money indirectly with lobbyists or people who need favors and things of that nature. And the problem, we're so busy pointing each other's eyes, us as citizens. You're liberal, you're conservative, you're a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit, while they're fucking robbing the fucking cookie jar. You understand what I'm saying here? Let's continue with this garbage. This is a good example. The state attorney, he's been fucking around, he's been stealing since 2018. He has done every single thing you can think about, and finally they just got to it. It took such a long time.
100%.
Yeah.
Of corruption, including bribery, obstruction of justice, and allegations of an extramarital affair.
Keep in mind, all of things that happen constantly in politics. I mean, bribery, obstruction of justice, having an extramarital affair. Well, okay, that's a Tuesday in politics. But him, he did something in particular, and a particularly bad thing, to where it cost him his position as Texas AG. Very, very powerful position.
Yes.
And, among GOP, conservatives as far right as they've gone, what the hell has this guy done to get that treatment from them?
The Attorney General has been temporarily removed from office and denies any wrongdoing.
Did he wave a pride flag somewhere? I mean, well, what's the bar to clear to get impeached by GOP officials?
When I heard that, I said, God damn, in Texas?
Yeah. Really? Deep red Texas.
This shameful process was curated from the start as an act of political retribution.
We all love Ken Paxton around these parts, right?
Paxton is hoping to generate grassroots support like this rally held in his home county in hopes of winning over the state senators who will decide his fate.
Every politician who supports this deceitful impeachment attempt will inflict lasting damage on the credibility of the Texas House.
Paxton's wife, Angela Paxton, is a state senator, and there are...
Oh, so he's not going to do... All right, until Free comes back. This guy is the most...
She has not said what she will do. A group of 12 House representatives will present the evidence against Ken Paxton, the majority of them Republicans.
This is about facts, and this is about evidence, and at the end of the day, my colleagues and I will not stand for public corruption.
Sorry
that's
about
why
that.
we're proceeding to a
Let's
trial.
Let's just continue
in
on
the
with
Texas
this.
Yeah. Make a
And
full
Ken
screen.
Paxton is
do
also
that, so-
accused of calling
Oh,
House
yeah,
members
yeah,
before the
yeah.
impeachment vote, threatening them to
Better, yeah,
vote
see?
for him in that vote. The lead
Oh, this guy's taking up the screen. God damn.
head of the House committee
He's
that
the entire
examined
resolution.
impeachment articles of impeachment against him was asked if this could lead to further articles of impeachment, and he would refuse to answer that question as well.
Yeah, I hope it does. I really hope it does.
Okay, you got to give credit where credit's due. You got to give credit to the Texas legislator, whatever the fuck, and they have a lot of faults, and they're a piece of shit with their gun laws, with other stuff that the public really need in Texas. But to I don't know why they targeted him. Maybe he fell out of favor, like the mafia. You know, he fell out of favor or something, because
Yeah.
he's been like that for a long time. I think anybody who uses their office to enrich themselves or their family do not belong in public office, near any public office. But the problem, this is what's going on. Even outside, Nancy Pelosi is like $100 million rich woman. Everybody's rich, man. The only poor is us. At least, you know, our side, we fight like for healthcare. We're trying to get something out of the government, healthcare, out of our money, healthcare, college education, you know, maternity leave, things of that nature, access to stuff that people need. At the same time, the other side wants to take all these away, but are willing to die for corporate America.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to give you a good
But that's who they
example.
work for. That's who they work for.
Let me give you a good example. When Mitch McConnell was negotiating, remember for that COVID thing, the COVID-19 $1,400?
Yeah.
He wanted to get in there that corporation could write off their lunch, you know, that like the business lunches and stuff like that. he wanted to put that in the bill. It shows you where his mindset was.
Of course.
Yeah. And these idiots will go and vote. We'll go and vote every time because you know what? We vote our color. We don't want to vote. We've been used since 1681 when they told us that white is an ethnicity. You read about that?
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Oh my God.
The rebellion, the Bacon Rebellion, I always talk about that. That's the fucking most astonishing thing in my life. After they rebelled against the white elites, the blacks, the poor whites, the slaves, the indentured servants against. So in 1681, the white elite decided, listen, these poor whites are too dangerous. So we got to make them think that they have privileges that they really don't have and use them as a vehicle or as a buffer zone between us and the masses. And they've been using them since fucking then. I swear to God. Anybody who's listening to this podcast, just go read the Bacon Rebellion of 1675, I think it was, or 1676.
Yep.
And the day that the word white became an ethnicity was in 1681. Before that, there's no such thing. Remember, we had a conversation about overseas. We don't view color as an ethnicity. It's only in America. Even in Britain, you don't see that. They don't say the black British and they say the Jamaican or Ethiopian or African. They give their nationalities, and they don't say white British. They just say, you understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of culture, culture, what does an Icelander have in common with a Greek? What does a Russian have in common with a Portuguese? What does a Slovak have in common with a Norwegian person? You know? So to believe that whites are one homogenous ethnic bloc and are one cohesive race is just absolutely absurd. I mean, you know, like, I don't know. They want a low bar to clear. Like, you know, they think their skin color in and of themselves make them virtuous. Newsflash, it doesn't. It's what you contribute to society. It's what you have to offer the world that serves it a utility.
But they're not getting anything in return for the things they do, for the voting they do. They becoming poor. They taking away. Remember when they used to have those rallies with Donald Trump? Replace and repeal Obama. The majority of the people in the audience probably want Obama health care, whatever you want to call it, or the affordable health care, and they're yelling from as loud as they can for Donald Trump to take away their health care. They don't see that the Republican Party has no love for poor whites in the Midwest or in the South, whatever you want to see it. A lot of people are going to listen to us. They're going to think we're full of hatred, whatever. It's not. I really do want them to succeed. I really want them to come a block with us and vote the same way so we could vote to our own political interests and our own economic interests. You cannot have the poorest counties and the poorest towns, the poorest cities in the South, the less in education, less in healthcare, less in infrastructure, less in everything you want to think about it. Even less in stupidness, probably, understand? And they still go through with that, and they really don't care. And they just go vote again for the Mitch McConnells of the world, for the Rand Pauls,
of course,
the Matt Gaetz, for the idiot. What's up? What you got?
Yeah. So, I mean, we really need to, build a sense of, Southern solidarity. But so if they're intransigent enough, if they're not willing to change that much, then I say reap what they sow. Reap what they sow. Okay. Now, if it goes that way, this idea of ultra federalization and every state gets to do what it wants, then I guess I'll just be chilling in all these liberal states, with sort of quasi social democratic ways and means.
Come stay here with me. Leave Florida. You don't need to do that.
Yeah. Y'all have got public transit, better infrastructure on average, high cost of living, but that's reflected in what the state gives back to you.
About the school lunch and the school breakfast, they give free.
Oh yeah, it was free. Yeah.
How about they give family? You bring your mother, your grandfather, the whole family. I made a mistake. I said lunch. It was only breakfast. When I used to go to summer school, you have all these families, like the generational, they're all eating, and they just give them food, and that's good.
Yeah,
you understand? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're giving our money, $100 billion to wars in Ukraine, to Iraq, and Afghanistan. Feed the people that need to be. Let's go back to our friends in the Midwest. The problem is the poor whites. I call them the poor whites, not out of trying to look down on them, but they are poor. I'm poor, okay? I'm poor too, right? So we'll be on the same page.
Yeah.
The poor whites who are poor like me have been convinced that they have superpowers, that they are heroes or privileges. Like it's like a superhero who doesn't have any special powers. They have convinced them that their privileges are under attack. They're gonna lose privileges that they don't have. They never had any privileges. They're poor as fuck. They don't have nothing. The average immigrant is doing better in blue states than a person who's born and lived since the George Washington in the United States. Where you going out there?
Oh, I just, since you were talking about the Midwest, I just wanted to show you this.
Yeah, I like Minnesota. You see what they're doing? They have only one guy. They only have in the Senate. They lead it just by one vote, and they get all the shit done. That they're
meanwhile, in the federal legislature, they're cucking the mansion all the time, so much to the point where it's pretty much his presidency. He's got all these cuts to really good bills. He's got all this means tested shit. A lot of cinema. I mean, they're really the cancer of the party that's supposed to represent working people.
You have to just use your mind. A lot of people say, "Oh, your liberals are evil." When I deal with people on Twitter, I get scared sometimes. I don't return because I'm scared of the people. I don't know how crazy they are. But the whole idea is, the Democrats are evil. My friend, we're not evil. We're trying to give you health care for nothing. We're trying to make you go to a doctor anytime you want, any doctor you want. We want your kids to go to free education in public colleges, not private colleges. At least 2 years of public college free. If you have a baby, you get to take maternity leave. Your children should have the universal pre-K. What we're doing, we're trying to we are investing in you, the human being, instead of corporate America or some wars outside the country. We're investing in you. We want you to be well. We want you to be healthy. We want your children to be healthy. We want you to have access to the best healthcare, to the best education. Instead of drowning in your states right now, opiate crisis, your children are dying like fucking flies every day. 200 young people die in rural America a day.
Do they care?
They don't care. Last year, 117,000 people died of overdose between the age of 17 and 45. That's the best age of starting families, starting jobs, and they are probably 80% mostly white. So your issue here is that the immigrants are not replacing you. The policies and the drugs and all that stuff is replacing you. They are killing you deliberately. If you watch that movie called what's that called? Dope Sick or something like that. It was on Hulu. about how Big Pharma, like what's his name, Purdue.
Purdue, ran by the
the
Sackler family.
Sackler family. They introduced these painkillers, especially in rural America, Kentucky, West Virginia, where people work with their hands and their backs and they're in pain. You know, people who work with their bodies on purpose.
That's why we need labor protections, so we don't have to keep on buying opioids.
A fire that has killed a lot of people, or destroyed a lot of lives. Like what happened here in the 1980s in the inner city when crack became an epidemic. But the only difference is, when crack was an epidemic, they criminalized the user and the dealer. They made them criminals, even the user. But now, since it's only whites,
most of whom were black.
Yeah, most of it. But now it's a healthcare issue. You understand? They don't criminalize the user. You got to get him help. You got to get him help, and we do want to give him help. But I want to show you that the way the states looks at certain situation. When it was blacks, and it was, I'm telling you, it destroyed whole neighborhoods. I grew up in New York City, man. I just saw all these people. I was young, and I saw all these people just how to sell their TV sets, their cameras, their clothes. I didn't know what it is. We would say, what's going on? You know, we were young. What's going on? And we don't know the crack everything. But the whole idea is they treated it as a criminal matter. Instead of getting help for the users, they send them all to jail. The 94 criminal law bill, if you ever heard of it, they just send everybody to jail, which did a lot of good because it was crazy. It was like a war zone. If you see the South Bronx, you look it up when you get a chance. Look at South Bronx in 1980. All the buildings were decimated. It's like we were in a third world country. But anyway, to get back to our friends here is my advice is, you know, we're a small podcast here. We're not looking down on anybody. We're not trying to be better than anybody. But we
pretty much only punch up.
We punch up. We want what's best for you. We don't want against you. We're not saying you're stupid. Look, I got my cowboy hat on today just to be one of the boys here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I'm a cowboy at heart. But this is what it is. What it is. But we got a lot of corruption, and the problem is our infighting as people, as Americans, our infighting, hatred for each other, or divisiveness, is giving these people the chance to steal. Without any reckless stealing, without any fear of being held responsible or accountable for their corruption in Washington or New York State, upstate New York. We have the most corrupt government here. I mean, there's corruption everywhere, but there's so much money, so much fluid money is you don't notice it. The third world countries, they don't have enough money to. Once you steal, there's nothing to eat, so everybody starts fighting. There's not that much to steal. You understand? What I'm saying? Yeah. But here they're stealing, man. They're robbing. Look at this idiot. $1 million as a consultant for energy company. What fucking expertise do you have in it? I don't care if it's the Lauren Roberts' husband. It's just I'm looking at this small fish here. Imagine what the big fish are eating. You understand?
Yeah.
Hunter Biden was using his father's name to make $1 million. How about Jared Kushner? He got $2 billion after the administration. And he almost started a war in the Middle East because Qatar did not want to invest in his building that he was about to lose. And they forced that country to rent that building for 100 years upfront, $1 billion, you know, because they were going to invade the neighboring countries. A lot of Americans don't do that, but Hunter Biden was masturbating. He was on crack, and he made $10 million. My friend,
did you see MTG's rant on like how he supposedly had Pornhub accounts still active or some shit? And you know, like during the time, I'm thinking to myself, so you went on the hub to investigate how many accounts Hunter still had active and what he was, like posting his sex tapes on. Like, are you all right in the head, Margie?
She's like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what one. Yeah, you sure you don't know? Everybody knows what it is. I know what it is. I got on it a lot, but I don't get on it because I know.
It's on his laptop.
No,
what's he hiding in the dick pics on his laptop?
You know why I don't get on it? Not because I'm this holy guy. It's just the conclusion is one thing. You gotta fucking masturbate and lose the fucking shit. You understand?
I don't like running defense for the Bidens, but it's just I don't care. Investigate him and be consistent in that ethic, and investigate literally every other corrupt Washington Nepo baby that's in politics.
Nobody's defending Hunter Biden's using his father's to get money or to get jobs that he doesn't really need, like fucking a board in fucking Ukraine. He doesn't even know where Ukraine was before the Ukraine wanted him. We don't have no problem with that, but you have to investigate everybody and not put it all with a broad brush. Oh, it's the Democrats. No, Hunter Biden is a piece of shit. Not that. Robert, what's her name? Robert's husband is the piece of shit. You got to call them out by their names, not by the whole part. David Packman, I like this guy.
Yeah.
What you got on him?
Yeah, this is about, DeSantis's campaign. I mean, God, I really just can't get over the fact that, she's just now divorcing Jason Boebert. Groomer, because, a parent showed their kid a rainbow-colored item, and that's tantamount to, like, molesting them. But, congressman's... Yeah?
Okay. No, I'm just testing my microphone. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, but, being married to a literal child predator and just now divorcing him for separate reasons. Yeah.
Let me bounce off that before you start. Notice that she's getting a divorce and Margie Taylor is getting a divorce. They've been married. It shows you that all that shit about God and family values. The breakdown of the family.
Empty.
Oh, bullshit.
They believe in nothing.
You gotta call it out. She has a boyfriend who's a health guru here in Washington who's been banging her here. And the other idiot, God knows what she's doing. She got those teeth, those buck teeth. I think she bought them when she became a congresswoman. And they're a little too big. The whole idea is you lie. Family value, God, we don't need the Constitution. In the end, you are nothing but a piece of shit like everybody else. As soon as you made some money, you got a little statue, you think you're better than the fucking guy you married 20 years ago, who was a fucking probably red hellbilly idiot from the south of the... I don't know why I do that to these people. Like, they're going to get upset at me. But
when it comes to adults making, consensual adult love, God, family values, that conservatism. When it comes to cheating on your husband with your fitness instructor going behind his back, that, but still being married to somebody who, flashed his genitals at underage children. All that rhetoric out the window.
The police tape when the father was beating up his son and they called the police. They're fucking.
We could get into that.
Let's just give you an idea. It's a broken home. Don't judge other people before you judge yourself. That's the whole idea. That's why I don't judge people, because I'm not religiously, but I'm not a perfect person. I have my fucking vices and shit that I think about. Maybe I have some dark side when you get off the microphone and start fucking getting out the door. Everybody does that, but I don't judge.
The political side that constantly loves to espouse the fact that they care about children and they want to protect and defend children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Meanwhile, when your husband is actively throwing your son against the wall, beating the living shit out of him, and, flashing underage girls, how does this reflect family values?
And he's getting paid.
With the humiliating,
let's get to the census.
Abortive presidential campaign announcement of Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. This event was a global humiliation. And if DeSantis's presidential campaign is going to follow the theme and tone and competence of yesterday's Twitter Spaces announcement, it is going to be a very, very short-lived campaign. Now, let's not judge it all by the first 24 hours, but it was really bad. For those of you who don't know, there was an announcement made 2 days ago that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, after much speculation, would indeed announce that he is running for president in the Republican Party against Donald Trump and Tim Scott and Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy. And he would be
who are those last three people? Who?
making this announcement alongside Elon Musk on Twitter Spaces. Twitter Spaces is a very rudimentary. I mean, we're talking about audio over the internet. This isn't the most...
Yeah, I think the concept for that was literally stolen from Club Deck or Clubhouse or whatever that is.
4K live streaming video you could imagine.
Yeah, I went on it sometimes to debate Darth Dawkins on Christianity sometimes. And oh, man.
So low energy. nearly a dozen.
But yeah, it's pretty rudimentary software to set up. It shouldn't be that hard.
Technical disasters. I'm starting to think prayer may work because I was willing technical disasters into existence all day yesterday, and they happened. So I have to reconsider. Maybe thoughts and prayers actually do have an impact. I'm kidding, of course.
God, I'm a Catholic
this was
again.
The worst and most embarrassing presidential campaign launch that I can remember in the modern political era. Minutes of silence, random throat clearing, muffled commentary from Elon Musk about how the servers are melting down, DeSantis himself getting booted off of the event. Let's just listen to a little bit of, and again, there are going to be extended silences here. I'm trying to get everybody back in the mode of understanding the environment yesterday, which we live streamed, and everything going wrong. Let's jump into it. It is now live, okay? So it's starting about 8 minutes late, and this is the sort of thing that we experienced.
There's 382,000 people on.
All right, great. So let's see.
So things keep crashing, huh?
Yeah, I think we've got just a massive number of people online, so it's servers are straining so much.
It's not clear they know they're live right now. That's Elon Musk, by the way, speaking.
Yeah. This seems really tacky on his part because he's talking to like these Twitter execs. This guy is utterly charismaless. He's like, starting the servers are down, and it's like, did you get a botched lobotomy? Because it sounds like that ice pick was stuck straight through half your brain, man. Like he cannot publicly speak worth a crap.
To me, they didn't bring in Mike Pillow's cyber guys to help.
Oh yeah, the election was stolen. Fact verifiers. Notice the breathing too. It's like
take it all in.
It was an infomercial for this guy Elon Musk. The whole thing was about how that when you share, does your YouTube freezes or no?
No, I have the audio turned down now.
No, but when you're doing your, because I don't know what happened. I'm gonna get a new line that when I share like to a YouTube video, all of a sudden my whole internet starts slowing down. It's like getting this. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of bandwidth on my end.
How much you have? What's your speed? What's your speed?
I don't know.
I have like 1,000. Well, I mean, 1 giga. What's it? Gigabytes called?
Megabits per second. I think I have 100.
No, I mean, the speed, like 200, 300 for the MPHG, 300, 400. I have 1,000, 980.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like the fastest, and it's fucking full of shit. Anyway, so the whole preparing was a stupid idea. Elon Musk is a fucking idiot, and the other guy is another idiot. He laughed. You understand? And it was a commercial for when you found it. It was a commercial for Twitter. That's all it was.
Yeah, there isn't a better example of collaboration between government and multinational conglomerate big business than this. I mean, like, Republicans were the people of, government should stay out of business, but, here he is, appearing on a Twitter platform, or appearing on a Twitter space ran by the guy who runs that platform. So they believe in nothing.
They have no idea that this is all live.
Like, they were constantly calling him a technical genius and an innovative billionaire. One of the greatest minds of our times, to be considered by some people, but no, that's a ruse. He's an idiot.
Okay, it got even worse, if you can believe it, when they sort of like got closer to actually starting.
Let's see. So, we on? Yeah, I think so. Just to simplify that.
So then they cut out. When they seemed to realize they were going to be starting, they cut out again. This went on for about a half hour.
A half hour? Jesus God.
Yeah. What do you think? DeSantis has a chance?
As you can see, it's just not good.
No. Trump is so much more funnier and charismatic than him.
Yeah.
He's not so charismatic to where he appeals to like really broad demographics, like chunks of independent voters. But Trump knows how to do primary politics. He knows how to hit people on the substantive issues that matter. And we're actually going to, see that in a bit.
And you could say the craziest thing and nobody holds him responsible for it.
He'll do better in polls if he says, crazy shit.
Yeah, anything. But this guy, he laughs like
Okay,
funny.
and then there were like audio
You know
feedback loops and all sorts of things. Now, we're going to get to the DeSantis speech in a moment. There are people like Ben Shapiro, right-wing columnist, commentator Ben Shapiro, saying things like what he tweeted, quote, "Tonight was a perfect encapsulation of the campaign." Yeah. If you're obsessed with the optics of the Twitter Spaces glitch, then you're probably not going to...
Voters are concerned about optics, Ben.
You nasally voiced piece of shit.
Vote DeSantis. If you're interested in political substance, DeSantis is like...
He has no political substance. The only political substance he brings to the table is woke, trans people, blah, blah, blah. Something about history textbooks mentioning slavery and state governments needing to ban that. He doesn't focus on the bread and butter dinner table issues whatsoever. Now, in terms of being on the primary, Trump does. He knows how to hit people where it hurts.
Likely,
he's been through the ringer before.
There were also people on the right saying, this isn't a disaster. This event was so popular that it crashed Twitter's servers. So many people were interested that it crashed Twitter's servers. It is a big success. All of these narratives
they had to have known that.
Idiotically wrong. First and foremost, once DeSantis started speaking, it got even worse. He read a prepared speech with absolutely no charisma or
oh my God.
Engaging inflection or delivery.
Roger Stone did an AMA on the Politics Discord server, and one of his main criticisms of DeSantis, and a reason why he was, voting for good old Donnie again, was because DeSanctimonious was laughably uncharismatic, and he all his mannerisms are just Donnie boy, but without the hilarity, without the goofy charm Trump had among Republicans.
Which just talked about woke, and he whined. So once DeSantis started speaking, there was no substance. It was just grievances in an
Trump's
even
got it,
whinier voice than the one Donald Trump speaks in. And for this entire, it wasn't a disaster. So many people were interested that it crashed the servers. This is a success. Number one, not even 1 million people. This was promoted for 30 hours everywhere, nationally. Every place, Fox was talking about it, CNN, MSNBC, every newspaper, everybody was talking about this. And they scrounged together at its peak 900,000 people. That's not exactly a rousing success. And the whole story about Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter is he's the tech guy. He's going to rebuild the stack. Remember that? We're going to rebuild the stack completely from the ground up.
Free speech. Also, I'm going to let Erdogan's totalitarian government censor what it wants. Same with Modi. But, free speech. Yeah, but by free speech, what they mean is putting back Nazis on major social media platforms because they want to endlessly spout the N-word.
Do you think Musk's history of growing up in an apartheid state of South Africa is integrated in his mind?
100%.
Right?
100%. He got his success off that.
They sued him. Black workers sued him. They won $130 million at the manufacturer in California, I think, is that because they were treated so badly. So that racism is just simmers inside his body. You saw that interview he had, it was the dumbest interview. Or like the guy in the bride shower, whatever. He said, "You killed my father. You gave me money.
Prepare to die."
And, I don't want it. Shut the fuck up, you dumb fuck. I can't believe you're worth $260 billion.
He's like the second richest man in the world.
And I'm so shameful. I own stocks, man. Of Tesla. I can't sell them, man.
We've gotten rid of all of the superfluous engineers. Now Twitter is operating beautifully. This is just audio over the internet. It's not even video, and they couldn't hold it together. So it was such a success that it crashed is not a viable line. Now, DeSantis eventually did start speaking, and he somehow figured out a way to be even more whiny than Trump during his campaign launch, which is really bonkers stuff. He used the word woke, I think, more than 20 times. I lost count. Our live audience lost count. Here's
that's
sort
his
of
whole
what
shtick.
the speech sounded like.
That's it.
Biden's allowed woke ideology to drive his agenda. We will never surrender to the woke mob. And
keep in mind, by woke, he means gay characters just existing in children's books and movies and media.
Leave woke ideology in the dustbin of history.
There you go. So woke. Remember when Rudy Giuliani was 9/11 noun verb? Ron DeSantis is woke noun verb. That's what it is. Yeah. A humiliation for Elon Musk that cannot be understated. Nothing worked. And once DeSantis actually got to speak, it was the lowest energy campaign announcement I could imagine. The political alliance also shouldn't be ignored. Elon Musk, who says his #1 priority in buying Twitter and making the changes to Twitter that he made is free speech. And he's making a big show of celebrating Ron DeSantis, who is quite literally banning books in school libraries and suppressing the speech of teachers and corporations in Florida. That's the alliance that we have here. This event was
marketplace of ideas, free speech, free speech. What they mean by those sayings is let Nazis back on Twitter because they want to spout the N-word endlessly. But when it comes to, actual, leftist representation, queer representation, indoctrination, grooming, you gotta ban it, you gotta censor it all. They believe in nothing.
Was so bad. Even Donald Trump looked clever and funny in trolling DeSantis, and we're going to get to that next.
So this is just one of the attack ads I actually want to feature. And Omar, we got to breeze through these because, we're about 2/3 of the way through the hour. So. This is a Trump attack ad against DeSantis.
Oh, yeah.
The sanctimonious. Let me up the resolution.
This is a Biden ad.
We are.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's a Trump ad. Copyright.
His mouth is upset the narrative control imposed on us by our government.
Copyright.
You have to trim it, yeah.
Governor DeSantis, make this.
Yeah.
We're just trying.
Madman J, I don't even know him. The only Republicans I know, who are actually in the race are Nimrod or Nikki Haley, Asa Butterfield.
Who's Nimrod?
Her name is Nimrata. It's Indian.
Oh yeah. Even the other day,
but I just call her Nimrod.
The other Indian guy. I want to abolish everything. I want to abolish the FBI, abolish the Department of Education, abolish this, abolish that. He say anything that's like in the wall. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna abolish it because he want to say.
Look at this! Look at this!
Washington established politicians like to talk about how they can be just like Donald Trump. The truth?
Here he is alongside Biden to make him look bad.
There's only one Donald Trump.
I agree with that.
One who gave us the largest tax cuts in history.
And by that they mean, keep the corporate tax cuts permanent, but temporarily give, some upper middle class people benefits.
I think this guy's from India. He's asking, what do you think? Okay, Vivek, he's a very smart guy. Well, I'll give you one thing. He's very, but his policies are real extreme. He's attacking like a affirmative action. He wants to demolish the FBI and get a new FBI. He wants to demolish the Board of Education and put 3 guards in every school, which is impossible. You have almost 90,000 schools in the United States. That's more money than the Board of Education uses. Anyway, he's very extreme to the right.
Another culture warrior?
Yeah, that's what he is. I think he just self-promoted himself. He knows he's not going to win. What they do is, like the other lady, what's her name? What's her name?
Williamson.
Williamson. She's just self-promoting. That's what they do. They make money like that. They self-promote. They get attention. They get on the news. They get in commercials and all that stuff. And then after they leave, they make money. That's how they do it. He has no chance of winning, not because of his policies. But let's be honest. The United States, they still have a lot of racism. They're not ready for an Indian president. They were not ready for Obama. He's half white. 50%. Yeah. He was, and they still came up with the Tea Party, all that bullshit, the tan shirt that his wife was a man.
Yeah, birther, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
so compared to Trump, DeSantis is more conservative, more electable. Doesn't make crazy statements. Is visibly younger, smarter on policy. One thing I disagree with this on is that he's not more electable. This whole woke culture war bullshit is not going to play well within the primary, Florida. And especially within the general election, because Trump's populism, or his fake populism, because it's not actual populism, he is the swamp, he is the elite, that won him the presidency in 2016. Now, eventually people found out he's not actually a populist, he's just any other establishment neocon, and then he lost. But when we talk about independent voters, because the American public has an attention span that lasts for seconds. His fake populism is going to do well within a general election. So, you know.
Okay, let me respond to Chris. That's what the question is. Okay, Chris. I don't know what your politics is, but the DeSantis and all this stuff, most of the conservative movement is not real. It's not a real movement or populist movement, or really is. It's nothing but slogans, culture war, woke, LGBTQ. They have nothing to offer. It's like what one lawyer once said, that they are a moving target with empty pocket. They don't have nothing to give. Even DeSantis, once he gets out of Florida, he's going to scare away suburban white women. They're not going to vote for him. Or moderates or independents. You have to understand, the Republican Party only makes up 22%, 25% of the food pyramid. And the Democrats about 33. The rest of America is neutral, is independent. And when you have these guys yelling and screaming about stuff, about books, things that don't matter, people in America want to know what they're going to get, the food, the kitchen issues, right or wrong?
Yeah. Which Donnie Boy is going to play into in the general election.
Smart.
That's the healthcare they deserve.
How you took away the Medicaid and Social Security issue away from them. And no, we cannot cut it. That's it. He took that.
Well, we're going to get to that ad. We're going to get to that ad.
And stood up to China and protected your job. Only one who kept us out of endless wars while destroying our terrorist enemies. Only one who fundamentally changed the Supreme Court was called the most pro-life president in history.
Look how that's won you elections.
Oh shit! Trump probably has more abortions than anybody.
Our Second Amendment rights and our borders. Why would we ever settle for Trump imposters?
Yeah, he's playing his old ads again.
Yeah.
When there's only one, starting day one, who can make America great again.
He looks really good here. He does.
Hey, Trump, and I approve this message.
If I was a Republican, I think that would convince me. So, obviously, we're going to get to more attack ads.
Yeah, he's about optics.
100%.
He's very smart, yeah. And the whole idea is, but people don't understand that he had 4 years as president. He didn't do nothing for the poor people. Not even one law. He just cut the taxes for the rich. He used to sign all these executive orders that didn't mean shit. As soon as they gave it, they threw them in the garbage. As soon as they left there. So there was nothing there. He never did anything for the people who supported him and got him in office. The poor people who used to go to his rallies, they got shit. 4 years of nothing. Nothing. Good, man.
Yeah. Steve Zisna, a basic conservative talk show host with a large following in the state, said Trump's recent criticism of the 6-week abortion ban hurt his standing with evangelical voters.
Yeah, but they're 18%. They're nothing. What are they gonna? Only the eventual are only strong in the primaries. The general election, they have nothing to say. They're not strong enough to.
This it's like Holly said. This might be the death of the GOP because all their policies are so unpopular. So probably what they're going to have to do going forward is make massive concessions or just completely dissolve themselves as a political party, and some other behemoth would have to fill the void.
They're one law away from imploding. Remember the California Republicans, they used to have governors Republicans, but they had this Proposition 187. It passed. It was against immigrants getting access to education, healthcare, and that activated that whole Spanish community, and Republicans are an endangered species in California. That's it. They're all gone. And this, you see the Republican, they can't take a W. They won. Okay, you overturn Roe v. Wade, you turn it to state, move on. But you keep on, you can't take the win and leave. You understand? That's the problem with them. Yeah, in the end, it's going to women. They're not, they don't want their rights taken.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
What do you say to this?
Well, you got to get through this quick.
All right. Make a full.
He looks like a fucking ghoul. Like he looks like a corpse, man.
Oof.
This is what he looks without the orange spray
all that makeup, yeah. He's an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, he was really ugly.
No one knows what color he is.
I can hear him.
Yeah.
The best course is not even the contest.
Best course.
But you gotta understand, he's a good comedian, man. He should have been a comedian.
He's funny.
Yeah, at least we have it. I want to see him with DeSantis. He's going to destroy DeSantis.
Yeah.
I think he's a very disloyal person because he was dead. He was looking for
sanctimonious.
And I endorsed him.
He's right.
And he went up many points. He was 30 points down, at least, maybe more than that. He was
Oh God, this angle is not flattering him. What were you saying?
It's true. He's the one who got him elected as governor the first term because he only won like by half percentage point to that guy who turned out to be a fucking crackhead. Thank God he didn't win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, okay. What time? Because in 2020, the economy was not good at all. I mean, COVID came and he handled that very poorly.
Chris, Trump increased the national debt by 25%. 200 years of American president, they had 75%, and Trump by himself was 25%. He increased the debt by $7 trillion, the most in history. So that means 25% of the national debt was acquired during his presidency. You see the song and dance they're doing right now. Oh, we got to cut this. Because the Biden is a Democrat. Where were they when $7 trillion was added to the fucking national debt, man? This is all the economy. The economy was recovering. I mean, but if you look at the jobs, he didn't create a lot of jobs. He's not a good politician, Trump. You need, they need real president. They need real Republicans like they used to have. DeSantis is too fucking extreme, man. This is the problem with the Republicans. They become more extreme, and they're gonna become extinct at the end of the day.
One thing I want to emphasize is Democrats are excellent at governing. Like, okay, for all the establishment liberals and neoliberals' faults, they are excellent at governing. They know how to run a country, and they know how to keep things stable. The economy, jobs, wages generally. But Democrats are bad at getting elected. They're bad at appealing to voters.
They have a messaging.
Yeah, Republicans have insanely good messaging. They're the opposite. Insanely good messaging, insanely bad governorship skills.
You saw how they sold the CRT during the Virginia Republican, the governorship, and they won.
Yeah.
CRT, and he had these crazy white people in the school board yelling, "I don't want my teeth." No, what the fuck is CRT? I don't even know what CRT until today. Oh, they're teaching us the CRT. Now I see CRT is gone. They already used that. It's gone. But they know how to message it and turn up the heat and bring up people out, again, to vote against their own interests. Nobody's talking about CRT.
100%.
No one.
So I think he's very disloyal, but I don't care. Look, a poll just came out in Iowa. You saw the one that just came out a couple of minutes ago. I'm leading by 30 or 40 points. I don't mind that at all. But no, I think he's very disloyal, but he's got no personality. If you don't have personality, politics is a very hard business.
Yeah, he's a charisma vacuum, man.
He don't have it.
He got very badly beaten with Charlie.
And he's smart, you know that,
Adam
right?
Putnam beat him. I don't know, but they say
graduated out of Harvard.
Maybe.
Oh, Yale. I don't know.
We'll find out. Maybe we'll find out. Because unless it gets close, why would anybody debate?
Mr. President, are you playing all 18 today?
Yeah.
Huh?
Are you enjoying the game so far?
Having a good time. Good guys.
Oh.
Great players and a good.
God, he looks so
If Mike
bad.
Pence enters the race, what would you say to that?
Okay. He's not going to have much luck at all.
He spent 323 days golfing during the presidency. That's almost like a whole year. It was 1 year golfing,
and he called Obama lazy, mind you.
Yeah,
so
he's like, I don't want the $400,000. I'm gonna give it to charity, but I'm gonna try to do $3 million to my results a week, cost you so I could go fucking golf and cheat at the game. That's why. But I don't want that $400,000. And the poor idiots. Oh, look at him. He doesn't even want his pay. See how he loves America? Yeah, but he's costing you $3-4 million every weekend. He goes dumb golfing. Good.
Yeah, this is one of the attack ads. Oh, this is probably one of the best ones.
Yeah.
We expect an announcement this week that Governor Ron DeSantis is running for president.
Play it
On the sales tax add-on plan to make you pay more. With the sales tax here, sales tax there, everywhere sales tax.
This is the latest ad from the super PAC backing Republican former president and current candidate Donald Trump. It's channeling that 300-year-old folk song, Old MacDonald Had a Farm, to spin a yarn about Trump's favorite political foe, Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
In Congress, Ron DeSantis backed a national sales tax, a 23% tax hike on almost everything you buy, from the gas station to the grocery store. You pay more here, more there. Here you'll pay, everyone will pay more.
Let's get the facts. It's a fact that DeSantis
He's
backed
hitting
a
him where it
23%
hurts.
national sales tax.
Yeah.
The ad is referring to
And keep in mind, these are the, you know, cut taxes people. They believe in nothing.
House Resolution 25, the fair tax. Yes, records show DeSantis was a co-sponsor of the bill that would have created a 23% national sales tax. But is the ad telling the whole story? On the meter, we'll call that false. This is the same claim that was used by DeSantis' primary opponent, Adam Putnam, in the 2018 governor's race. Like Trump's new ad, the 2018 commercial,
He would have probably
failed to point
been
out
less
that the fair
insane.
tax would also eliminate all federal tax, including income taxes, death and capital gains taxes, and payroll taxes. College and university tuition would be excluded from the tax, as well as the purchases of stock and capital investments. Existing homes purchased before the fair tax is enacted could be sold tax-free, as well as used vehicles. So, not everyone will pay more.
90% of families would get a tax hike if DeSantis replaced the current system.
On that final claim about DeSantis, we'll call that a whole lot of political spin. It references a Money magazine article in January.
We're less interested in that. What I do want to bring up is...
I tell you, Donald Trump, the only good thing about him, he could say, he could call Paul, you're a fucking bitch. Nobody will say nothing. Oh, he's just crazy. But if DeSantis sneezes in somebody's face, oh, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump could get away with anything, that crazy guy, man. That's a true fucking New Yorker, man. You know, he grew up lying to people. Oh, this apartment, he offered me for $10,000 a month, but I'm going to give it to you for $8,000. Don't tell anybody. It's 1,100, it's 2,000 square feet, but it's only 100, it's only 1,000, but he's lying. He's about.
Loves sticking his fingers where they don't belong.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we're not just talking about pudding.
Omar, you know what this sort of implies, right?
Yeah, no,
With the whole brown pudding and, you know...
Oh, yeah.
DeSantis has his
It's going to be
dirty
entertaining. It's going to be one fucking good year entertainment.
Oh, yeah. This primary is going to be fantastic. Oh, man.
fingers all over senior entitlements. Like cutting Medicare, slashing Social Security.
Hey, I like any other man likes dessert, okay? What can I say? You know? I like some good chocolate
Raising
pudding.
our retirement age. Tell Ron DeSantis to keep his pudding fingers off our money. Get this man a spoon.
Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
God, Make America Great Inc. is just killing
Yeah,
it with these ads. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really beating him.
I'm betting you that the Biden administration is hoping that Donald Trump wins because they know they're going to beat him in a national election. Not because everybody loves Biden, because people are going to come out to vote against Trump. That's what happened with the Biden was going to even win the primary. Remember, he lost the first 3 states. Nobody gives a. But the hatred for Trump activated the whole. Everybody and their mother came out and voted. They activated the whole Democratic and independent base. Everybody just came out. It was a vote really against Trump, not for Biden.
Yeah, he was just so
again.
bad in office. He was just so bad.
You know what Donald Trump?
Ugh.
You know what Donald Trump reminds me of? You know, like you had that old man who plays the jackpot machines in Las Vegas all his life, and one day he hits the jackpot. That's how he won the presidency. He didn't know he was gonna win that night. He's probably smacked his wife when they told him he won.
100%.
Yeah, he's like, I was just self-promoted. Like this lady Mariana Williamson and this guy Vivek Ramswy, I don't know his name is. It's all self-promoted. He was trying to make money out of it, and he did make money out of it. He became president. I lost my train of thought. But he's been losing. He lost 2018. He lost both houses. In 2020, he lost the presidency. In 2022, all the people he picked, maybe 90% of them, lost their races in all states. So Donald Trump is actually a radioactive to the Republican Party.
Blocking out all the noise. What the fuck?
Nothing.
I don't know. It's another movie with a white woman.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is polling on the GOP primary.
Ron DeSantis' altitude has descended since, let's say, December, January.
Because realized literally all he's full of is woke, CRT, CRT, you know, culture war,
Walt Disney,
you know,
Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
Whatever Tucker's scriptwriter says, you know, I'll make that my politics.
Now, the huge caveat to all of this, as I know I don't have to tell you, is the actual voting isn't going to start for months. It is still super duper early. So grain of salt on the polling here, but it is a bit of a snapshot, at least to the state of the race right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Hallie, because, I mean, look, here's the list of candidates that in the next hour, I guess we expect DeSantis to be joining. And then there's also this second list of potential candidates who've been making noise the last few months. And I think part of that is related to what you're talking about, where DeSantis, you know, a lot of buzz early in the year. Polling hasn't, you know, tracked with that so far. And so I think you've got some others now saying, hey, maybe there's an opening for me. So you take a look. This is the Real Clear Politics average right here. And you see, obviously, that Trump's way out in front. DeSantis is sitting there now over 20%, but it was tighter at the start of the year. But there is a big line there after DeSantis. Everybody else is mid-single digits or lower. And so I think this is the challenge. This is the question for DeSantis as he launches this campaign. Has a chance to kind of hit the reset button here. Is he able in the next couple of weeks to move that number up, to get closer to Trump and to really make this look like a Trump or DeSantis race and to leave everyone else in the dust? And would that potentially cause some of these potential candidates not to run? Would that, you know, hurt them in their ability to
I hope
gain
so.
traction?
I just want to see it
really
between,
Obviously,
you know,
everyone's always wanted against
Trump and
one-on-one
old
shot.
Donnie.
Does this
Or,
one
no,
with DeSantis
Ron
give
and
an
Don.
opportunity to move up toward that?
Ron and Donald, this is the only primary where I think we've had two candidates named Ronald and Donald. You know,
I sort of sigh when I
one of them frequently eats McDonald's. You know, we saw that when he was in office.
hear that, Steve, because I'll tell you that folks close to DeSantis will kind of brush off the numbers, at least right now. They think, in the words of one source that I spoke with, you know, this is still early days, basically. But when I hear the phrase, like, let's get to a head-to-head matchup, like, did we forget about 2016, right? Because, I mean, in that instance, there are just, it feels like there are lessons from 2016 that could play out as it relates to 2024.
Well, yeah, and I think that gets to it. If DeSantis is able to run an impressive campaign here, connect with voters, do well as he campaigns in these early states.
He's got to change his agenda. It's got to be, you know, less about this woke, you know, drag queens, whatever the shit.
Does he head off what happened in 16? Because what happened in 16 was you had a bunch of candidates.
There was no head-to-head.
Right. There was a bunch of candidates in the mid-double digits here, and it was very, so, and in fact, take a look at this. This is 2016. This is how Trump got the nomination. You had 4 standalone contests in February before you got to the biggies. And if you remember, Trump lost the first one. Ted Cruz beat him in Iowa, and there was all the talk that, hey, maybe this Trump thing is going to fall apart. He bounced back in New Hampshire, in part because the field was so muddled. Remember, Chris Christie went after Ron DeSantis, and that debate really took him down a notch. Then Trump was able to win with less than a third, a little bit less than a third of the vote in South Carolina. He was off and running. What nobody was able to do that entire campaign in 2016 on the Republican side was score 2 back-to-back big wins over Trump. Could DeSantis do what Cruz did, win Iowa? Could DeSantis roll it into New Hampshire and win there? Trump was never tested in that scenario, losing 2 in a row in 16. And I think that's one of the questions with DeSantis, if he can get this going.
Nope.
Steve Kornacki back at the report.
Well, get it going. Well, my guy, it's been a failure to launch. That's all we can say so far. But unless he makes major campaign changes, I don't think it's looking good for him. Keep talking. I gotta give, I don't know, Russian hookers golden showers. You remember that shit? Have you read the Steele dossier?
I didn't know what the golden shower was until the Donald Trump thing came out. Man, it was crazy.
Piss.
I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You gotta go? Okay, go ahead. Go.
No. I'm going to just take myself off stage and then, you know, you can talk, give your thoughts, whatever.
All right. There you have it. Me and Free are talking today about the Republican primary. It's about 2 years from now, wherever it is. DeSantis doesn't have a chance. I don't think he does, because he sounds a bit normal than Donald Trump. But the problem with DeSantis is that he's like saying he's trying to be crazier than Trump. This is his problem. If Donald Trump said that, I could do it better than he does, and that's not going to help him in the long run in the primary or in the national elections, because people outside Florida and other states don't really give a damn. You know, they don't have that. They don't care what Walt Disney says and things like that. They think about about their work, about their health care, about what's going on with the education of their children, things of that nature that should interest everybody. But the Republicans have been running on empty tank. They don't have anything to offer. The Republicans have nothing to offer as a political party. They have no real policy. They say they went to small governments. What happened? They had the biggest spending in history. You back, Free? So the whole idea is that the Republican Party will never have any ideas. It will eventually implode.
Just wanted to make sure nobody was, rummaging outside my door. Anyway.
And it will become dangerous, the Republican Party. Eventually, the Republican Party is going to come. Let me say this side. it's going to become really dangerous in the end. The Republican Party is going to eventually implode and loses its electability as a national party or even a statewide. The only way they're going to win, because they are shrinking, is a gerrymander, like district representations or
they do it a bit more than Democrats.
Yeah, school boards. No, they know what they're hitting bottom. Free. If you pay attention to they're
unelectable
because they don't want to open the fucking door to everybody. All this crazy mega shit. They don't need all that crazy to scare people. Even sometimes I agree with certain, like on immigration and things like that. But I see a guy with a fucking AR-15 next to him talking. I'm like, no, I don't trust you. I'm scared of you. I'm gonna go on the other side because you're talking about guns. The whole idea is that the Republican Party is going to shrink and it's going to become dangerous in the end because imagine they've been losing all the popular votes the last 7 out of 8 presidential runs.
Yeah.
As soon as they start losing the electoral college, they went nuts. Oh, it's stolen. Almost fucking overthrew the government. Imagine when they cannot win no more. Eventually, they're going to get to the point even the electoral college is not going to save them because America is becoming an urban country. The rural areas will no longer save them. The only way is to run.
There's so few people in them.
Yeah, for district offices, for school boards. They're not going to be able to win like governorships or senates because the whole state has to vote.
Yeah.
Because the only now they could cheat through gerrymandering is only the congressional seats. That's only the state senate seat or the state representative legislative seats. They could play around through gerrymandering. But eventually, they're not going to be able to win the presidency or Senate. And, the core of the power is the Senate.
Yeah. And expelling and silencing representatives is not going to help their case at all.
It's not going to. No, everybody's going to get tired. Woke. Who gives a fuck about woke? I don't give a fuck about woke culture here. I'm not like I give a damn. I mean, there are certain, I don't know what woke is. What's woke? Telling people that. Let people
you want me to bring up a video the Daily Show did on the word woke? Basically, they showed, a bunch of contradictory different definitions given by various Republicans. Here, Daily Show woke definition. Let me actually pull it up here. Conservatives try to define woke. Let me pull up that tab. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the ads. You people. Alright. Well, that's playing. Yeah. Conservatives. Here's your challenge from me to you. Please define woke in an internally consistent way. Okay?
Yeah.
With this whole thing about woke, we all know what woke means. Being woke means never having to say you're sorry.
Woke means never letting anyone say they're sorry. Woke is racist.
All right, okay. We got 2 definitions of, one type, so okay.
Woke means equity, diversification, gender, and racial disparities.
That's a far cry from the original 2 definitions, but okay.
Wokeness that's happening at Madison's house and Jefferson's house, where all they do is talk about slavery. Wokeism is about murdering fun.
You know what woke means? It means you're a loser.
Woke madness, now it's drag queens and children.
Okay, this is all over the place.
Church. The woke is the new religion of the left. The new hip woke.
Wait, they used to attack us all the time over, being militant atheists. So, what is this now?
To not like the Jews.
What does it mean to be woke?
By not liking the Jews, he means not wanting to send Israel billions and billions of dollars in Iron Dome subsidies.
I don't know what the definition.
This guy is a fraudster. He's an idiot.
Woke
He did nothing as the governor of Florida.
Which is, I do know that I think most people don't want to be lectured by companies.
Lectured by companies? Do companies want to be lectured by big-ass state governments? I don't think so. That's why, they're thinking about moving out of the state and why they've already pulled development projects out of Orlando. Yeah. But, I don't know if you'll be interested in this content, but my viewers love it when I talk about this guy. Remember our good old friend Joseph 8276?
Oh, the big guy.
Remember? Yeah, Tully.
With me, I am.
So, okay, just to contextualize, me and a guy named The Myth, he's a red pillar, we watched the first half of this video and critiqued it. No, I just want to go over a few more videos with you and just, half of this video. So, We'll just make fun of him.
I'm a nice
I guess.
guy. Go out with me or some other nice guy.
Oh my god.
It doesn't matter.
This is like a whole meme. Nobody likes the quote-unquote nice guy who feels so entitled to women's affection just by virtue of the fact that he's being nice. I mean, okay. So, when you approach people in general, your default sentiment, your default predisposition to social interaction is of someone who is nice. That's who you're supposed to be, kind to people. And the fact that you're being nice just to, get laid with women just proves that your kindness is disingenuous. Even if you are supposedly kind, if we're granting that, your kindness is disingenuous. It's just for the purposes of you, getting your noodle wet.
Yeah.
That is superficial glib. That is not genuine character, Joseph. Okay? Let's turn this fat ass up.
Have a guy that has all bad personality.
Okay, so one consistent theme that this guy will employ throughout his videos is a rigid binary between good-looking guys who are douchebags and nice guys who are not good-looking. What Joseph fails to mention, because he's fundamentally dishonest at the end of the day, is that you can be a good-looking guy who is also nice.
Right.
I've met plenty of them in my life. I mean, you just got to do a bit of browsing. You just have to trust people sometimes. But I know plenty of women who have shacked up with that kind of guy. And I guess they're their Prince Charmings. Obviously, relationships have to compromise. You're going to be a bit rocky at times. You're going to have to work things out. But there is not a binary between good-looking douches and bad-looking nice guys. He's just being dishonest.
And I mean that, too. I mean it. Would I want sex on the first date? No. I would never...
Oh, buddy, you would not turn down sex on the first date. Yeah, you're not going to get it, but you would not turn it down on the first date, my man.
Want that. Thanks.
Have you ever scored on the first date when you used to date?
But no.
What were you saying?
When you date, have you ever scored on a first date? You.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be. I had this bad habit. I used to like married women. I was fucking crazy, man.
I never had that habit. I mean, if I'm being fully honest and transparent,
I'm gonna be honest. I was hitting all these married women when I was young, and I was going. I love the danger of it and shit like that. It's like a hunt.
What kind of like porn plot line is this? Like, you married, baby? I've been with plenty of married girls, you know.
Swear to God. I mean, I had like maybe 10 or 15, but at that time, I just, the good thing about it is you don't have to date them. You don't have to spend no money on them because it's all about stealing.
They got their own money. You can just go Dutch if you want.
You just go, you just go to, it's like it's an illicit affair. That shit was crazy, man. I'm thinking now, imagine if I got caught, I could have got killed in some fucking guy's house. That was crazy, man. Bad.
I wouldn't want sex on the first date. I'd wait till I was married.
You're not gonna get it.
Literally, I would wait until I'm married.
You're not gonna get it.
Or something like that.
You're not gonna get marriage either. Two laughable delusions of yours, Joseph.
Yeah.
I think I would like it.
You don't do much thinking properly, do you?
If my girlfriend would stop drinking, smoking, and doing drugs. Now,
I mean, kind of, sort of control-y, but, I think you're entitled to that preference. So,
all three of those things are bad. Does it look like I'm high? Well, if it does...
I don't care if you are.
I'll tell you, I'm certainly not.
I don't care if you
high
are.
By any sort of means,
You're not in your right mind, but high? I don't know, and I don't care.
Sort of... whatever. But... I never took drugs.
Okay.
I am off the alcohol.
Wait. So you have taken a drug. I mean, drug, like alcohol is a psychoactive substance. So, he'll just contradict himself so easily.
A whole freaking year. And, jeez, I'm straight edge now. And I know I am. But, ladies, you gotta stop drinking, smoking, and doing drugs if you're going to go out with me. Don't.
All right, I can understand that you don't want to, get back on the bottle. So yeah.
Go behind my.
I mean, I've struggled with drugs,
back and drinking alcohol or have a smoke or whatever. That is not going to work with me.
Okay, I can understand that.
I'm just going to say, here, have a pet.
So long as you're asking women in your life to get off the drugs, can you get off the incessant Oreos and Twinkies and foods in general that just make you blob out? Like, this screen alone weighs 10 pounds. That's how much energy you're transferring to me, Joseph. Jesus Christ.
Pepsi. Take your mind off this shit.
Okay, that's not healthy, and neither is alcohol or smoking. Now, I think if Pepsi once in a while is not going to hurt. Neither is a cigarette. Neither is a shot of whiskey. So, you know, like, why are you foisting your preferences onto people? Because you clearly prefer Pepsi over, like, liquor or smoking.
Because, really, we don't want, or I don't want, any of you hot girls to go out with the bad guys anymore. I am telling you...
Oh my god, again, the binary. He has this warped perception of, you know, hot girls exclusively dating douchebags when that's not the case.
He wants to save them.
He's a little fucking saint, ain't he? He wants... So, you know, obviously, the good girls like the bad guys. No, okay. Joseph, actually have the self-confidence to go out somewhere in real life. Especially semi-urban areas. Urban areas. You know, you meet more people there. Joseph, I can guarantee you, nice girls, good-looking girls are dating nice, good-looking guys. But the thing is, Joseph, they're just out of your league. Sorry to say it, buddy, but you've got a lot of self-improvement to do before you play in that ball game.
It's things that you lack and you must have. Because you need to have a sweet personality. You need to be...
Okay, you must not have... So long as we're, you know, telling you what you must and mustn't have, you must not have the blood pressure of a Wi-Fi generated or a website generated password. Like, when you step on a scale, Joseph, it can't tell you to put your family members off of the scale. So, if I were to put myself into the shoes of a woman, I would not want somebody who lacks the self-control you do. Because, okay, you have a gaping-ass hole in your wall. You're cringy as fuck. You feel entitled to everything. You haven't worked past your lack of understanding of social cues, and you're just really inappropriate and freaky in general. I mean, you literally look like Trump in that last clip. You literally look like Uncle Fester's lost cousin. So, like, come on, man. Nobody's gonna want to date you over this shit.
Be nice to the nice guy. If you're nice
does
to
he
him,
do this all the time?
It shouldn't matter.
No, his channel has been inactive for years, but yeah, most of his videos are the same. So.
They're still there. Okay.
Because I don't want any of the bad guys getting girlfriends anymore. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired.
Okay, the reason I can understand this to an extent. The reason a lot of, you know, assholey sort of guys get women is because they're confident. There are a lot of confident assholes.
Yeah.
You might know a few. A lot of confident assholes. So, you know, it's skill. It's riz, as Twitch says. It's charisma. It's personality. It's compromise. It's moves.
I was not good at it.
Well, you got married somewhere along the line, right?
You know, I got married. I'm good, but I used to be a fucking player. I used to love, you know, I didn't drink. I didn't use drugs. I smoked cigarettes a long time ago, but I used to love, you know, you know, I was hot from the Middle East. We love snatch, you know, the PUSSY. So, you know, when I used to get married women a lot, that was the thing I used to do. But the majority, I used to have a lot of, you know, I already told you, a lot of Hispanic and black girlfriends. Because white girls, they used to play a little bit hard. And if you get one, they're usually the biggest bitch they already kicked her out of the group where she belonged. The white people kicked her out, and now she's in the fucking ghetto getting banged all over the place. But I don't know, man. But we were not as developed as kids are today. We didn't have no access, you know, to a lot of stuff you guys have right now, like pornography and things of that nature. I mean, I didn't have access to that. If we had a magazine, I used to hide it outside, you know, like under the fucking, so it won't get wet in the plastic inside the dirt. go get it every week and go look at it in the backyard and shit. Hey, Jacob, my best friend was Jacob. His name was. He was a little fucking crazy. I know. I think he had autism because he used to do a lot of crazy shit. I was scared of him. At the end, I just left him. I said, "Fuck it, this guy's gonna kill me, man."
Yeah.
Of that bullshit that bad guys always get the hot girl, and
No, okay, they don't. Okay, so most of the time, good-looking, nice guys get the good girl, right?
They do, yeah.
But confident assholes get the girls because they're confident. Okay, so if you just worked on your riz, worked on your personality, I mean, looked a bit better, got a decent freaking haircut, and stopped wearing such, juvenile clothes, then you could probably be the nice guy, and I mean the legitimate nice guy who gets the girl.
They used to treat the girls like shit, these jocks and all that stuff. I used to see, especially the Italian kids, fucking smack them around. They don't give them no money, everything. They treat them like fucking garbage, and they still chase after them. And you were there. You're like, I will make you my queen. I will pray
because they're confident. They're confident.
I'm like out there. I will pray to you 5 times a day. I will build a fucking castle in every village for you. And he's like, yo, get out of here. What are you doing? You still here? Come on, Joe, get out of here. Is she still here? Get out. Go to get fucking lost, man. That was my time.
I really want it because
like I'm a different type. Okay, so I hate calling myself a nice guy because it's been tainted by online incel fucks like these. But in my day-to-day life, I am mostly kind to people I meet. I'm a different type of sinister douchebag where, I make it look like I'm gonna stay in a long-term relationship with women. I just mostly ditch people after the 4th, 3rd date. Like, oh, sorry, honey, I don't get into relationships, okay? I just date around.
Have you fallen in love yet or not yet?
Still no. I've had affection for people, but
I fell in love. That shit was fucking hurtful, man. That's the only time in my life I never fell in love again like that. I was 16, she was 18, and first time, I was getting kissed, and I was seeing all these big breasts and things like that. She was teaching me a lot of shit, and I fell in love with that girl, man. I'm sorry, man. And then I was out with her like 6 months, like puppy love. You know what puppy love is and shit. And
no, I do not.
You don't feel love with your heart. You feel it with your gut, with your stomach. You always like hungry. You always feel thinking about every song they play in the radio. You think it's all about you and her, because we didn't have no fucking music.
I really deserve a hot girlfriend. I really do. But you have
this smug sense of entitlement with this guy.
Close his eyes, give him a cigarette, shoot him right in the head, and get rid of him and put it. That's it.
Yeah, in a video game, in Minecraft, not TOS. We're peaceful here.
He needs some mercy. Fucking guy, ugly as fuck, man.
Yeah. And it's his sense of entitlement that totally blinds him as to why women don't want him. Huh?
So you don't even know if he's still alive, because how many years he's been not active?
I'm fairly sure he's alive, but we've got no confirmation of his death. But it is entirely possible that he is dead. But this guy's sense of entitlement. I deserve a good girl. Okay. Are you willing to meet that good girl's standards, Joe? Are you willing to work on your personality? Are you willing to look better? Are you willing to take better care of yourself, Joseph? No. You just want them all to flock to you. Well, sorry, Joe. Unless you enact some big systemic change and women suddenly feel like an urgent sense of empathy for incels, then that's not going to happen, Joe. So you got to meet people in the middle, okay?
To make up for the fact that you're lacking things. You have to make up to that points.
You are lacking plenty of things, like good circulation, like a high,
points of
a lack of high cholesterol levels.
Stop being immature. Going out with
that's rich coming from you, man.
It's not cool. 2.
This is the guy who wears dope hats, swag shirts, and wants to be all gangster, but he's from Nova Scotia. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You got to start being yourself. Which, if you're going out with a bad guy, you're not being yourself. You're being.
I'd say be the best version of yourself. Some people are naturally smug. They're naturally bitchy. They're naturally assholes. But if you just filter out all the bad elements and just leave all the good elements, then you know, I'd say you're going to be fairly successful in that department.
Someone that you're not.
No.
3, you have to have a sweet personality. You have to have a nice one. And if you don't have a sweet personality, you are not going out with me.
Shut up.
4, you have to stay with the nice.
Okay, if good-looking girls with good personalities have all these options, why the fuck would they settle with you first, man?
Yeah.
The nice guy wants you to stay with him. And if you don't, and you go back with the bad guy, the really bad guy, you will not get far. Because he will dump your ass in one day while he already had sex with you.
Okay, but Joe, nice, good-looking guys exist, and I can shack up with one of them, and he won't dump me, because he's a legitimate nice guy. Okay? A legitimately nice guy, buddy.
That's not cool nowadays, people. That's really not cool. I would never have sex on the first date, whether those types of girls like it or not. I would never do that on the first date or the second date or any other date. The only time when I'll have sex is if it's safe and if we're married, because marriage
You religious or something?
pertains to that. And I'd rather
Not in my philosophy, but okay, whatever.
be
You're an
married
adult.
and have sex than have sex on the first date, because that leads to bad things.
Like, what? I mean, like, obviously, if you're religious, I guess that's your obligation to not do that, but if you do get sex on the first date, like, what's the harm? Like, you know, okay, I'm using contraception, you know, so, like, what?
Because having sex on the first date leads to the bad things that happen to guys.
Yeah.
The bad thing. What bad things, Joe? What bad things?
And I do not want that at all. I am, in fact, 100% straight.
Nobody questioned your
Nobody
sexuality?
questioned that, yeah.
So, ladies, tell me this.
Yeah.
What?
If you think nice guys don't finish last, you are wrong.
Oh,
And
you're gonna
you
finish
are-
last.
No, nice
What about
guys
you?
who do not feel entitled to women's affection finish first. Nice guys who are disingenuously nice like you finished last. And I think that's the way it should be, buddy.
Wrong for many, many reasons. There are a lot of them. 1,
Alright?
nice guys do finish last. I'm sorry, but if you girls think I'm a pussy and I don't have self-personality, self-this, self-that, whatever, and I'm not an asshole,
Yeah, he was already getting these criticisms at the time.
then you're right. I'm not an asshole. I'm not that self-confident. But I do have confidence at least. You gotta realize that I'm a nice guy. And that I don't want
He's doing
a
the
girl that's
meme,
just
stop.
gonna go out with the bad guy again.
I'm a nice guy.
Okay? I want that type of girl, that hot girl, to stop going out with them.
Okay, but you've got to make yourself into a good-looking, genuinely nice guy if you want to bat in that league,
Grow up to
man.
mature, please. I am starting to mature myself. Well,
Yeah,
I haven't
just
matured
starting.
since I was 20. Since I was, holy shit, since I was 17 years old. I've been maturing up.
No.
And you know what? I think I'm a fully grown, mature adult right now. Well, I'm so
right,
young.
buddy.
Who cares? 22 years old. Not a bad.
Let's speed this fuck up.
Not a bad age, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm gonna
girls,
go
I'm
soon.
fat. But who
Yeah,
gives a
yeah,
shit, really,
just tell me
because
when.
I think
And, just hit, you know, leave
Yeah.
studio. Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I'm gonna go.
going out with a
All
nice
right.
guy.
Yeah, the
All right, see
button
you
at the
later,
bottom.
Alfie. Thank you. Had a nice day.
Yeah, see you, Omar.
Right, oh, from the bottom, right? Okay.
Yeah, leave studio.
Last time I shut off the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just be careful.
Wait. Kick me out, man. I can't see that far.
It's a red X button.
I don't have it. Just kick me out, doesn't it?
Okay, remove. I guess he'll. Yeah. I guess he'll find his way out. Just hit the button at the bottom. It's a red X. Just leave studio. Or you could just close the window. Now that you're backstage. Just close the window and you'll be out of it without deleting. Yep. Okay. He's gone.
It's where you will.
Thank you, Omar, for
actually
doing the
love
show
it.
with me.
And I think you should be excited to go out with a good guy because, really,
I would be if I was a woman, yeah.
good guys need love. They need love, lots of it.
Or
They
if The
don't
Rock was
need
dating me.
a
I'd go out
one-night
with
stand.
him.
I don't want a
Wait,
one-night
what was
stand.
that
I'm looking
about?
for a
One-night
long-term. Need a one. Good guys need love. They need love, lots of it. They don't need a one-night stand.
Okay, some genuinely good guys want one-night stands, and if they're, genuinely good people, I think they've earned that, if all parties are consenting.
I don't want a one-night stand. I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I really am.
As are most people, that's not a unique position to hold.
I'm looking for a relationship that's actually long-term and that will lead to marriage in the future.
As is the vast majority of people on the planet.
It would be really, really cool if...
Does anybody just, not like monogamy? I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing.
Was a hot girl that would want me. And if you're fake, do not talk to me. If you're a real hot girl and you live around here in Nova Scotia, Canada, please add me to Facebook.
Jeez, Nova Scotia, God.
Follow me. Well, I don't exactly have Twitter. Who cares?
Good.
Subscribe to me.
No.
All this stuff.
Your content is horrible.
Actually talk to me, because I would love it. If you are a guy pretending to be a girl who has a fake freaking...
Yeah, he's gotten catfished before.
I do not want to talk to you, and I will fucking block you. So, take that. Take that. You have to acknowledge that you're a guy. You have to tell me that you're a guy before I can fucking block you. Don't say, oh, I'm a real girl, because I know you're a guy. And you can't fool me. So, if any of you real girls that are hot, sexy, love, get off the bad guys and go...
Why would they DM you when they have such better options, man?
Up with me because I am Pimpin' Joe. And I'm awesome. So get over it, bad guys.
Right, yeah, sure.
We all know you swipe eggs hate me now, but I don't care.
I don't know what he's
You know
referring
why?
to now.
Because I'm more pimpin' than all y'all.
All right, I'm done with this guy. Not done with the stream, but I'm done with that guy in particular. So, what Joe did in the vast majority of that video is he created this really rigid, fake, mind you, binary between good-looking douchebag guys and bad-looking nice guys. But the thing is, that binary doesn't exist. There are plenty, sorry, I just need to correct my breathing, plenty of good-looking nice guys that aren't assholes but do have self-confidence, constructive self-confidence, and who are positive examples of masculinity. Joe does not embody that, but he feels entitled to women's affection either way. You see, the thing is a sense of entitlement. He's not willing to build his own personal character on that internal level up to where he actually, jives with good-looking nice girls. Okay? Good-looking hot girls. But he has to, envision this delusional binary in which the really bad-looking nice guys are getting fucked over and the douchebag hot guys are, getting all the women. Okay, well, the reason a lot of douchey guys get women is because they have self-confidence. And that's it. You can have confidence in yourself, have all this riz, know of ways to woo women without being that really narcissistic, douchey asshat. Okay? That's it. But Joe isn't willing to make himself into that guy. What can he do besides wallow in his own misery? Speaking of wallowing in his own misery, I want to be done with Joe, but we're going to move on to another incel. All right. Black-pilled Joker. Let me bring up this guy's popular videos. Here's an incel to explain why he's a failure at life because he hasn't gotten laid, even though he's, in his 20s. Ooh. What a global catastrophe. Like, are these people for real?
Hey, Marshall Mathers the fourth here. I just gotta stop kidding myself, honestly, and just
Let's
face
up the
the
resolution.
facts and reality that none of you will ever help me. And I know that to be true.
No, it's just that you're not willing to take constructive advice because you, like Joe, feel entitled, buddy.
I gotta stop living
Why are these long pauses here? What purpose do they serve?
this fantasy life.
Of inceldom? The black pill? Yes, sir, you do. It quite is a fantasy. It definitely is one.
And keep hoping and wishing that just maybe someone might come along and give me a bunch of money or a ton of money like a good Samaritan would do.
Life doesn't happen that way, buddy. Like, obviously there are, welfare programs to help you get you off your feet. If you've like lost a job or something, or just, unable to work, you'll receive benefits from the government. But that just generally doesn't happen. People aren't that generous, okay?
Or someone who's actually generous enough. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to exist in this world at all. Or at least anymore, even if it did at one point in time. And I'm just a failure at life. Just a complete and total 100% failure. And a
because you hate working. I mean, I hate working too, but on an interpersonal level, and I'm moderately financially successful, so
loser.
Interpersonally, I'm very good.
Do
like I feel really good. I have a good life.
Get a job, which I would literally have to be lucky enough to honestly get any job for that matter, because I'm a high school dropout and I refuse to get my GED. So to put it
and you wonder why getting a job is so tough for you, buddy.
Simple, I don't have an education. So how in the literal
That's gonna hurt your chances at getting a job now, isn't it?
fuck could someone such as myself, I don't know, somehow get a job? I mean, it would literally have to take a miracle for someone like me to get a job. And if I did, it would be far away.
Wait, why would a faraway employer actually accept you? Like, isn't that more of a hassle for you? Because, okay, you're a high school dropout, right? Well, how do you think they're gonna know that you have the capacity to move? You probably don't, right?
And I would have to have a car to get there. And I am planning on getting my driver's license soon. But
how old were you when you made this video?
Even with that being said, I don't want to have to drive a car to work. Why? Because I don't want to have to pay for gas. I want to save everything I make. And if I have to spend my own money...
You could save more effectively by getting a job, couldn't you?
On the gas for my car, whatever car I might get...
You have a job at that point. So if your commute isn't that long, like, say, from your place of residence to your job, then that's going to do wonders in terms of your savings.
Or even if I have to borrow one of my relatives' cars or parents' cars or whatever, I'll have to pay for gas. So I won't be saving everything I make if I end up having to do that. So the only other choice...
But you'll have a job at that point. You'll have at least a semi-stable income now, won't you?
An option I have is riding a bike, which I would absolutely do, but I don't have a fucking bike at all.
Okay. And I've turned this guy down because I don't want to hear his insipid fucking drivel the whole time. Buying a bike is going to be much cheaper long-term. If we're just referring to the paradigm of this specific job, getting a bike is going to be a much more cost-effective option because you're not having to deal with the down payments. You're not having to pay monthly insurance. You're not having to spend exorbitant amount on gas prices and repairs, okay? Obviously, you'll have to repair a bike from time to time and, do some upkeep, maybe pump air into the tires once in a while, but it pales in comparison to the cost of a car, which, hey, as a leftist, they're astronomical at this point. They're fucking insane, which is why we should, nationalize the insurance industries. But yeah, it's insane, man. But getting a bike is going to be a much more worthwhile investment if we're just talking about, you getting a simple job.
Minimum wage position, and I got under $10 an hour or whatever, they'd probably still expect me to have a high school diploma or at the very least a GED.
Why haven't you got it?
And who knows about this dairy farm? Maybe they do as well. Who knows? I guess I'll have to find out. But the only way I would work there is either if I were forced to, physically, or literally had no other choice but to get that job. Because I am going to try to find that Amazon warehouse job, even though there is literally no address or location on Google Maps that shows the warehouse being in the place that it says it is, even though there is a website that literally shows that at one point they did have applications open and like when they ended them, and now that they're closed.
That's probably like one position, but sprawled across various locations. If I had to guess, like, I don't know specifically what website he was referring to. So once he actually gets the job, they'll just probably assign him, a local position. But then again, it's Amazon, and I've critiqued them before, and they have, really horrible business practices, so.
Closed. But I'm still going to try to find it, pretty much. One of my parents, hopefully, and I will go on a wild goose chase and try to track down the location of the Amazon warehouse, hopefully. If we're even lucky enough to find it. And if we do, I will try in any way fucking possible to get that job, or to convince them enough to give me that job. And, the other thing is the fact...
Okay, if they're going to want your GED, why not, get your GED?
That I need a job that would pay me a lot. Like the Amazon warehouse job.
Okay, you're going to need education, buddy. Or, certification, skills, whatnot.
For example, which is $16 to $35 an hour. Because everything I want is so expensive. And there are not that many jobs where I live, either in the state or location, that have that many good paying jobs for that matter. Or any jobs at all. And there's literally, like I said, 2 jobs.
Okay, if you're not doing well economically, you'll probably have to don't take this as advice, but it's just, the absolute Hail Mary decision I do want to win, and that's, invest some credit, maybe even take out a loan on first month's, last month's insecurity on a place of residence that is near many jobs. That's just what I'd do. If I were in your shoes.
That's all that there pretty much is. And that's what I mean by little to no jobs. I live 15 miles away from...
You're going to have to get some education or put some sort of, down payment on moving somewhere else with good socioeconomic mobility and good employment opportunities. I don't know what to say.
In the nearest town.
Now, at the same time, you could also become a leftist and demand change, but, you're not going to actually force substantive results like many other right-wingers.
And that's my
Joe.
That's my unfortunate situation. So peace out. Have a nice life, you fucking assholes.
Even his own audience. Well, Jesus Christ. All right. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. God, I'm exhausted. Thank you very much. That's the stream. Bye-bye.